Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Mikel Arteta says world-class Arsenal star is fine and raring to go versus Aston Villa. Arsenal returned to Premier League action on Sunday after recording a decent enough result in the Champions League in midweek. Tuesday's Champions League quarter-final first leg against Bayern provided a moment of controversy in the shape of Bukayo Saka's late penalty call. Saka appeared to be cluttered by Bayern goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, but referee didn't give him the decision before VAR backed him up as well. The Arsenal star was unhappy with the referee's decision, and in the aftermath of the draw, it proved a talking point amid Gunners fans, rivals, and pundits. For instance, Jamie Carragher was among those to praise the decision from the referee, while Mika Richards believed Saka deserved the penalty. However, Mikel Arteta sought to draw a line under the incident, insisting the 22-year-old is fine and raring to go against Villa. On Friday, the Arsenal media team asked Arteta whether Saka had calmed down after Tuesday night. The Gunners boss replied, "Yes, he looked fine this morning. He's had 48 hours to think about it, and it's done." You can certainly see both sides of the argument with this incident, but in the end, the referees did get it right. On another day, Saka might well have got the call, but it wasn't to be against Bayern. Now it's in the past, and we move on to Villa. The world-class forward will be eager to keep Arsenal top of the table and take a step closer to the Premier League title amid fierce competition. Fabrizio Romano says Mikel Arteta's £45 million player isn't thinking about leaving. The summer transfer window is just around the corner, and the rumor mill has already started to turn. Indeed, there are now starting to be whispers around which players could be on the move this summer, and an intriguing report about one Arsenal player emerged this week. Gabriel Jesus was linked with a summer move away from the Emirates in what seemed to be a strange rumor, considering the Brazilian has only been at the club for 18 months. According to Fabrizio Romano, writing on the Daily Briefing, there is not too much to these rumors, claiming that the striker is wholly focused on being a success at Arsenal. Romano shared what he knows about the £45 million man and his current mindset. He said, "I'm not aware of anything between Juventus and Gabriel Jesus, to be honest. Zero information on discussions or contacts as things stand. Gabriel is really focused on Arsenal and he is not planning to leave the club at this stage. The situation remains very quiet, and of course, he wants to do his best for the club." The Jesus departure rumors that have emerged this week don't make tons of sense to us. The Brazilian may not be the most important player at Arsenal these days, but he is still a very important member of Mikel Arteta's squad, and he will be going forward. Arsenal need to add to their attacking roster, if anything this summer, not remove parts from it. Yes, Jesus' future at Arsenal may see him relegated to more of a squad player role, but that doesn't mean that he can't still be of incredible value to the Gunners going forwards. It would be a real surprise if Arsenal did decide to cash in on Jesus this summer. Mikel Arteta shares what he privately said to Arsenal's players after 2-2 draw versus Bayern Munich. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta shares what he told his players after the draw against Bayern Munich on Tuesday. The Gunners, for a change, went into the game against the German champions as the favourites. Many people expected Arsenal to get the job done, but Bayern held them to a 2-2 draw. Bukayo Saka's opener was cancelled out by Serge Gnabry, who celebrated after scoring. Harry Kane then gave Bayern the lead, but Leandro Trossard saved the day for Arsenal in the second half. Arteta, who would have loved to win the game, had to settle for a draw, and he has now shared what he told his players in a private chat. The Spaniard claimed the game that any other team in the world would have collapsed after going 2-1 down to Bayern at that stage, but his side fought hard and leveled the game. Arteta revealed that he told his players how impressed he was with them after the draw. He said, as relayed on Hitters TV, the following: when we concede the two goals the way we have done, it does affect, but it is what you do afterwards. You are losing 2-1 after being in total control of the match, and then you have to play that game. You have never done it, and it's Bayern Munich and 2-1 down, and the expectation was very different, and now you have to cope with that. I think the players were exceptional at that because any other team collapses and we didn't. We stayed in the game and we were focused and we made some changes. We had some impact and we got the draw and we have learned a lot. So it was a great experience to have. When asked if that proves Arsenal have come a long way over the last year, he said, yes, for sure. I was really impressed with that. I told them because it's not easy. Arsenal now eyeing £40 million one-man army likened to Jude Bellingham. One player Arsenal are currently linked with has been deemed a one-man army in midfield and has been likened to Jude Bellingham. Better still, a transfer journalist has now suggested the player is livelier than ever to more this summer and could cost less than previously reported. The player in question is Borussia Mönchengladbach star Manu Kone, who is someone Arsenal admire, according to journalist Steve Kay. French football expert Jonathan Johnson has now spoken about Kone's future on Count Offside, also reiterating that the Gunners are keen on the Frenchman. He said, Manu Kone is a name coming up again after we saw him linked with Liverpool last summer and now with Arsenal as they look for a midfielder ahead of the next transfer window. He is a name that pops up quite often for top European clubs, so it's not surprising to see him making headlines again. In terms of links with Arsenal specifically, I think it's early days yet, but they are certainly one of a number of clubs keeping an eye on him. I know there are other clubs in the Premier League who are interested, and some clubs in League One who'd be keen to bring him back to France as well. Kone is a player of interest and is probably someone who will be on the move this summer. He may have a price tag of £40 million. It's not the first time Kone has been on the radar of several top clubs, but I'd say it's more likely he will move this summer than in previous years. It also seems likely that the underperformance of Gladbach this year probably also means Kone's asking price won't be quite as daunting as it has been in the past to the team who have looked at him before. Kone joined Gladbach from Toulouse in January 2021, but spent the rest of the season on loan at the French club before linking up with his new employers in the summer. The 22-year-old has made 81 appearances for the Bundesliga club, registering 6 goals and 4 assists. Kone is also the captain of France's under-21s, having made his debut for them in March this year. Arsenal want to sign incredible international defender this summer. One position which could be targeted is left back. This season has seen the likes of Zinchenko and Jakub Kivior fill the void in the main. However, a more natural left back could be on Mikel Arteta's wish list. And according to reports, one of the Bundesliga's top players is on the watch list. According to a report from Football Transfers, Bayer Leverkusen star Grimaldo is one of the top names on Arsenal's of potential signings. The report claims that both Liverpool and the Gunners are big fans of Grimaldo, who has had a superb season with Xabi Alonso's side this season. Grimaldo has rifled in 11 goals and contributed another 15 assists already in what has been a remarkable campaign for both him and the club. Lauded as an incredible fullback for what he is doing in Leverkusen, Grimaldo is a bit of a late bloomer at 28. However, there is a real chance he could be included in Spain's squad for the Euros this summer, such has been his rise. Arsenal then could be getting a final piece to the jigsaw if they can indeed land Grimaldo. Arsenal and Chelsea get a shock over potential Ivan Toney transfer fee. It's long been thought that Brentford marksman Ivan Toney was a target for Arsenal and Chelsea. The 28-year-old has been in reasonable form since returning from an 8-month ban from the game, scoring 4 and providing 1 assist according to who scored. The Bees haven't been at their best this season, and that might go some way to explaining why the England international hasn't found the net since his goal against Liverpool in mid-February. From an individual perspective, Tony would surely like to get back on the goal trail, not only to put himself in the shop window, but also to ensure he gets a seat on the plane as part of Gareth Southgate's England squad for the European Championship. If any clubs thought they were going to get Tony on the cheap, however, they are sorely mistaken. The Standard, who note Arsenal and Chelsea's interest in the player, have repeated a rumour from earlier in the week which had suggested Tony was going to be made available for around the £30 million mark, but Brentford manager Thomas Frank is having none of it. The manager said, "Normally I don't go into these price labels, but I would say that's very cheap for a 20 goal scorer in the Premier League." The Blades are all but down, however, they do still have points to be won, and all hope isn't lost until it's mathematically impossible for them to stay up. On that basis, they could prove to be stubborn opponents for the Bees, but Tony needs to ensure he is ready for any opportunities that could fall his way. If he is able to take advantage of any rich pickings against a defense that have already conceded 82 goals this season, at least 15 more than any other Premier League club, he could put himself back in the forefront of Southgate's mind and add an extra few million to his transfer fee. Arsenal and Chelsea scouted 18-year-old target against Aston Villa this week. Arsenal and Chelsea have been linked with the move for the Lille defender Lenny Yoro at the end of the season. The 18-year-old is widely regarded as one of the finest young defensive prospects in European football right now, and the French defender has been linked with a move to the Premier League by HITC. The report states that officials from Arsenal and Chelsea were in attendance when the defender was in action against Aston Villa during the midweek. A move to Arsenal, Chelsea will be an interesting opportunity for him, and it remains to be seen whether the two clubs come forward with an official proposal to sign him. The player has been linked with European heavyweights like Real Madrid as well. Euro has already established himself as an important starter for Lille, and he is certainly good enough for the Premier League. He might need some time to adapt to English football, but he has the physical and technical attributes to thrive at clubs like Arsenal or Chelsea. The French defender could prove to be a quality long-term acquisition for Arsenal. They will need to add more depth to their squad if they want to compete for major trophies. Arsenal have an exciting squad, but they need more options if they want to do well across multiple competitions. As far as Chelsea are concerned, they will need to sign a quality young central defender in the summer, especially when Thiago Silva leaves the club. The Brazilian will be a free agent in the summer, and he will have to be replaced adequately. Silva has been an exceptional servant for Chelsea since joining the club, and the Blues will need a quality player player to fill his void. The opportunity to join a big club in the Premier League can be quite tempting for most players, and the 18-year-old French defender is likely to be attracted to the idea of playing for Arsenal or Chelsea. It remains to be seen which of the two clubs manage to secure an agreement with Lille in the coming weeks. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.